Hey, man, thank you guys for watching the content, watching all of the interviews. Make sure you like, subscribe, and also leave a comment, man. Vibing with Veto. Just take 1 second out your day and leave a comment, like, or subscribe. Let's get back to the interview. Okay, we live in the crib, Vibing with Veto. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube at Vibing with Veto. Also follow us on the Instagram at Vibing with Veto. You already know the slogan, we vibrate higher. And today I got two gentlemen in the building, two twins in the building. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Terell Tepper. I'm a licensed mental health therapist here in Georgia. My Instagram is tep_life with a Y.
For sure.
I'm Tewan Tepper. I'm also a licensed mental health therapist here in Georgia and Atlanta, and my Instagram is talk2tep with the number 2 in the middle.
For sure, man. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having us.
Man, hey, it's love.
Honored to be here.
For sure. I got $1 million question for both of you all. I asked everybody that sits on this couch the same question, so now I had the honor to ask you guys. How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail?
Wow, how big would I dream?
If you knew you couldn't fail.
I mean, the first thing that's coming to mind is the sky's the limit.
Facts.
And it's crazy that you asked that, because I feel like your mind got to go there first before you can achieve anything in real life. And that's what I kind of do, and I've kind of dedicated my life to, is like helping people's mind go there first.
Facts.
I guess let you answer that.
Oh man, that's an amazing question. If I knew I couldn't fail, how big would I dream? I feel like I would allow myself to become successful in things that I would be doing anyway. Like, I feel like I was a therapist way before I got the credentials. So it's just a matter of trying to monetize the things that's naturally in my personality. So that I think
that's hard.
I think that would be self-actualization for me.
Let's stay right there. Let's talk self-actualization. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. For the people that don't know what that is, let's go ahead and let's dive deep. Go ahead.
Self-actualization for me, I think, is just reaching your potential. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like just becoming the you that you envisioned yourself being as a child. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like nobody woke up and said, I want to be struggling, or I want to be in a dead-end job, or I want to be, you know what I'm saying, in a situation that's not ideal.
Unless their mind is there already.
Unless their mind is there.
Facts,
yeah,
facts.
So I think self-actualization is just becoming the person who you always wanted to be.
Facts. I think one of the things that's underrated, though, is how much of surviving and not thriving is ingrained in our cultures.
Our culture.
Yeah. Yes. And how many generational curses you have to overcome to be, operating in your highest vibration and not, fighting demons of people who came before you, or just shit that you heard, you know what I'm saying, in the hood or whatnot.
Yeah, facts.
Ideals that you want to live up to. But a lot of times we stand in our own way from reaching our full potential. So
let's speak on that. Because our culture, like we just said, that we do tend to stand in our own way in a sense, because again, like how you said, the things that we were taught, the way that we were programmed based off of like our family and what they passed down to as well. So like, how do we combat that? You know what I'm saying? And like start vibrating higher, as I say on my show too as well. Yeah. What's a way that you think our culture can combat, surviving per se, like living just to survive?
I got a couple thoughts. You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead. I want to take yours.
First thing is like having conversations like this, not being scared to sound intelligent in the room. I remember when I was in like middle school, I used to try not to sound intelligent because I knew my homeboys would say I sounded white. So I would just kind of dumb down my vocabulary.
Right.
Because I knew it wasn't cool to like speak, clearly. So, but that's part of our culture. And I think if we don't put somebody on a pedestal or glorify a person that don't stay, in trouble, like maybe LeBron James, I think he a good little spokesperson for somebody that's kind of well-rounded, I guess.
Absolutely.
But the more we accept that you don't have to be a rapper or entertainer or athlete or something that's kind of cliche in order to be successful in our community, I think, that's the beginning of the solution.
Thanks. I didn't think about that. Where my mind went is just being exposed to things and not limiting your kids' dreams. You know what I mean? Like I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, college just might not be for him. College ain't for everybody." Like to me, that's limiting. You know what I mean? Like I feel like each person should try things, and if they're not good at it, then you have to pivot and adjust. But I feel like to go from just surviving to thriving, you have to be exposed to more things. You have to try more things. You have to be open-minded and confident that you could actually succeed. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So like, I didn't mean to cut you. I know you're about to pass it. But when you say like opening, like you have to be open to different things. Like sometimes growing up in poverty-stricken environments and per se the hood, we just see the same thing. And we deem what life looks like based off of our surroundings, based off of our like environment and stuff like that. So opening up ourselves to different things sometimes, and I'm gonna speak like I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right? Sometimes it is a challenging thing because we don't know where to start. Right? We don't know where to start. We're here, and it's like, okay, we think that success is what the people that we glorify in the hood were, like, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's success in their own way. You know what I mean? I'm not talking down on anyone. But the dope boys, you know what I'm saying? Being a basketball player is number one. A football player is number one in the hood. Any person coming from a poverty-stricken environment, they're gonna go to three things. Bro, I want to rap. You know what I'm saying? I want to rap about what I'm seeing every day. I want to play basketball because the first thing you do, hey, we want you to be a football. You play football. We gonna make it out the hood. You know what I'm saying? You have that on your back since you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? Or a basketball player, or any type of sports. And the crazy part is, to be honest, if we were really thinking logical, we talking about sports, we'll either play fucking soccer or baseball because that's where the real money is. Hey man, that's where the big checks is at. You know what I'm saying?
But Juan Soto contract.
I haven't seen it, but I'm
like $700 some million.
Yeah, for 15 years.
You see what I'm saying? But like again, that goes back to us saying being opened up to different things because, like you said, your friends used to say you talked white, right? Sometimes us we deem baseball as a white sport.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I know a couple of my homies. You know what I'm saying? They actually did pretty well in baseball and stuff. But it's not like, oh, we finna go to the baseball game, homecoming at the baseball game.
Yeah, it ain't nothing to brag about.
It's nothing to brag about, but that's where the money at. But I agree with you guys when it comes down to what you're saying about being open.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying? You guys can expound on that too as well.
Yeah. I mean, what he said I think is huge. Like you get the opportunity now to be the parent. You know what I'm saying? And when you create your kids' reality, then they respond to that. I think what our parents did, probably unknowingly from a place of love and trying to protect us, is like, this is the stuff that you have access to. So just, stay in those realms and don't piss nobody off, and we're going to be all right, right? Which is not a bad thing, but I think now we've graduated past that where we can show, our kids what it feels like to be in another country. Or to, I can't even tell you how many people most of my mental health background, especially before I became fully licensed, was working in like the hoodest parts of Atlanta. Like we call it community mental health, where you go to I was doing that with the guys. Where you go to their house and people get real comfortable when you in their crib. Right. And you have to develop a skill set of being the homie too. You know what I'm saying? And then we can talk about something a little bit deep. But until you get to that place, they
not really opening up to you.
Exactly. Right. So, man, I think when you get a chance to be the adult, you understand that you create your kids' reality. And the more you expose them to, the more they can kind of like entertain
The idea?
Options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Facts.
Other options. Was you gonna say something?
Yeah. One thing about being open. First thing that came to my mind is that I think we live in an age now where a lot of people have access to media streams, right? Like Instagram, YouTube. So a lot of the youth feel like that's way more of a viable option than it is. Like you still got to work hard in it. You still have to be consistent. You still have to get up at a certain time and have a certain work ethic to be successful in whatever you do. And I feel like too, college has gotten a bad rap. Like I don't know who told all these kids that they don't need to go to college, but like it's like college has become synonymous with debt for some reason.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I was going. But go ahead, continue. I don't want to.
I mean, the debt is there. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You do get in debt going to college most of the time unless you have grants and scholarships and other ways to pay for college. But it's so many avenues you go down. Like it's not just about the books. It's just like what my brother said about being exposed to things, like having opportunities to go out of the country, having opportunities to get involved in organizations like, fraternities, sororities.
It's the network, you would say.
The network.
Okay.
That's what's worthwhile. That's what's worth the money. That's what's worth the debt.
Facts.
Not going to take a class, because you can take a class anywhere.
Yeah.
But to leave home and be away from everything you know and have to be grown for more time,
facts.
You know what I mean? Going to the bursar's office to get your money right, make sure that they not purging you from your classes and stuff. Like that's a totally different skill set. So
facts.
It's like it's so valuable.
Absolutely.
I would say it's worth the debt. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. I would say it's worth it.
Facts. Now that you're putting it like that, you know what I'm saying? I can smile and say, you know what? Yeah, because I always thought that way. Like my dad is an alpha. You get what I'm saying? Like my uncles, they're all alphas. You know what I'm saying? So like for them, how they talk about school was just how you guys were explaining in terms of like the people that they met, the brotherhoods and the sisterhoods, and you know what I'm saying, everybody that they met and all of the connections. Because it's like, okay, you get a good job, I'm your frat brother. You're like, okay, that's my frat brother, I'm gonna pull him over here. Like, hey, we doing this over here. I remember you was, come on, this where the money at.
Yeah.
So, sure. But now let's shift it for the average person. You know what I'm saying? They looking at it like, bro, like, I'm going to go here 4 years, you know what I'm saying? And then I know a lot of people that were in college that are not doing what they majored in. So it's like, bro, you just spent 4 years of your time, all of this money, you know what I'm saying? All of this time, all the classes, and you're not even doing like what you really set out to do. Now, if you're going to college to do that, I feel like, bro, like, that's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? You could have got a trade. You feel what I'm saying? You could have went to trade. Because I know one of my partners is he does welding. Nigga making mad money, you know what I'm saying? And he got a trade, bro. He didn't have to go and do all of this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And he does plumbing too as well, and he's making a bag. And it's like we look at that in comparison to the 4 years. It's like, damn, dog, you did business. And it's like, bro, nigga, you not even doing nothing in business. You know what I'm saying? So, but now let's switch gears, you know what I'm saying? Because we going to be talking all day about this, which is a great conversation. Let's talk about mental health. Okay. Let's talk about how you guys got into all of this and stuff like that, and exactly what do you all do? Like, you know what I'm saying? So let's do it. Vibin with Veto.
All right, cool. Man, you actually led me right into what I was going to say.
Sure.
One of my philosophies is kind of the opposite of what most people think, where you think you choose your path. I honestly think your path choose you. I feel like I've been getting trained from my job ever since I was probably 7 years old. So a little bit about my story. My biological mom died when I was 6, and I went to live with my grandmother. She owned a beauty shop and salon, and I just saw how people opened up to her. Like I was exposed to that as a young kid. And then by the time I got in high school, it was like my peers, like people you would not expect to be like passing my room to go talk to my grandmama, like thug niggas too, like coming to the crib, like, bro, I'm thinking he coming to see me, like, bro, I need to holler at your grandmama, it's a lot on my mind. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, she just got home, you know, I set that up.
Right.
So, I just saw it was something about her spirit that was like allow people to open up, right? So when I got to school, that's what I was about to say about going to school too, is sometimes you get in school and you start one way and you go this way, but whether it's school or whether it's a job, I just think you need to go to where your passion is and what's pulling you, where the universe is pulling you, and then once you get there, you figure it out once you get there.
Facts.
But like for me, if you told me when I was in high school that I wasn't gonna be no NFL star by now, or somewhere with my feet up because I had a good NFL career, but instead I was gonna be a mental health therapist, I would have been like, no way. Wow. But we got to school and, was taking courses. He was going to do mental health. I was going to do physical health. We was both playing football at Tennessee State. My physical health department lost its accreditation, and I already had classes in mental health, which was what he had chose. The original idea was we going to have a holistic health facility where I was going to do like physical type rehab and he was going to do mental rehab, and you could just come to us and get right all together.
That's hard.
But it just kind of happened that way. So that's what led us. I could say, I guess, speak for both of us with that. You want to talk about what we do?
I will second what he said, how we got to where we are. So
Thanks.
Very similar story about the origins. But what we do every day is we both have contracts, like he said, going into the home. Like it's like glorified. It's more one-on-one and family therapy, but it's in the home. So most of the kids, I have one contract where it's all kids, and I have one contract where it's all adults. So the kid contract, all those people is like at risk of out-of-home placement. Either they in foster care, Department of Juvenile Justice, or what else?
Just getting in.
DFACS.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So, and we have a private practice too off
That's
of
dope.
Windy Hill. So we collaborate and do individual and family therapy over there off Windy Hill.
Dope. Now this may just be like it's a question, but do you feel that you're doing God's work?
Yeah,
Let's get it.
I feel like
For sure.
It's so funny that you asked me that, because sometimes I feel like what I do is so important that it's not like a monetary reward that matches it.
Right. So you'll be. So if it wasn't like money attached, that's something that you still would be doing.
Yeah.
Turn up.
It's my personality.
Right.
It's my personality anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To help a person if I feel like I can help.
Right.
So if I knew better and I didn't do better, I would feel like I was being irresponsible.
Mm.
So if you ask me something for help in anything, and I can help you. Oh, my bad.
No, you good.
And I can help you, then I would do that. You know what I mean? And that's just my natural personality.
Right.
One thing that I think it gets kind of, I wish at some point it could get to the point where we get compensated like doctors, because it is that important.
It's that important. I mean? Facts.
Like you. It's sometimes like I have to remind a person like I'm a professional, man. Like you can't just come and dump on me, then give me some change, and then think it's cool.
Right.
Like you don't do that to your doctor, man.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
Keep this appointment.
Facts.
Like this is important.
Facts.
So a lot of times we have to fight for the notoriety and the respect and credibility that physical health professionals have. But it's the same thing. The mind is nothing without the body, and vice versa.
Yeah, you can't do anything like without the mind. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I be telling people, even about like sports performance, right? Like the most talented people are never the ones who excel. It's the ones who got it between the ears. It's the ones who normally excel. Mm-hmm. Like I played basketball with a couple of NBA players, and they all say that Vince Carter was probably the most talented player they ever played with, but he don't got no championships. Like he didn't really achieve.
He wasn't no Kobe.
He wasn't a dog like Jordan, like Kobe, because he didn't have that drive. He didn't have between the ears with Kobe and Michael Jordan had.
Right.
So that, I think that's what separates you. You know what I mean? So if people paid a little bit more attention to the mental, then they'll get more out of the physical.
Facts. I got a question, like and I'm trying to shape this question the correct way. Back to black culture, right? Like, and you know, our culture,
our folk.
Why do you think like therapists get like a bad rep? Like, why is it so like why isn't it important, number one, that black men seek therapy based upon all of the trauma that we've been through growing up? And why do we look at it like, why is it frowned upon? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that frowned upon?
I would say a couple of different things. For one thing, culturally, we taught to keep everything in-house. And if we let somebody in our business that's showing signs of weakness, so that's one thing we have to like kind of like consciously confront and overcome. The other thing I think is like in our community, I think we develop skills out of like survival necessity, right? And resilience is something that you develop out of necessity. So you kind of become hardened to outside perception. You kind of become hardened to somebody who say they really care and they really don't. You know what I'm saying? Or say they don't help and they really can't. And another thing is how therapists are depicted in like modern society. Like you don't never see a nigga part of my fridge, a nigga like me.
You good.
Like, you know, as a therapist, I'm as licensed as Dr. Phil. You know what I'm saying? I'm just as qualified as, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
You could find, you know, somebody.
Thanks. But
what I do is I translate this stuff that sound kind of like I think the way they depict therapists in a lot of media spaces is like almost condescending, talking to you like we in kindergarten. I don't do that. Like I speak to you like person to person, man to man.
Facts.
And I'm going to translate a lot of that mental health stuff into something that you can digest, something that makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't, you know, appreciate it if I felt like you was like, you know, dummying down your speech so that I can understand it.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking, and because of my background in community mental health, you know, Marquavius ain't finna talk to you if you speaking over his head. You know what I'm saying? If you using too many big words, and you know the OGs is looking at you trying to make sure you ain't harming this dude, and you saying stuff that's over his head and he don't understand it. That's a skill set that you have to develop over time. So, you know, with my clients, I feel like I can bring it to them. Bring the therapy to them instead of expecting them to come up to where I am.
Yeah, facts.
So, you know, get to this, you know, 10-year degree and understand all of this stuff that I understand because I've been through all this training. Now I'm going to bring it to you so you can understand it.
Can I ask another question too? What would you say the most important thing, the important step would be to kind of like get out of being depressed, like depression, like beating depression, battling anyone that's battling depression? What would be the most necessary step that they would need to take to, you know, get over that hurdle?
I think the biggest thing is just putting some effort into it. Like if you lean into it and allow it to take over you, it's easy to take over you. Like I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people deal with in depression is isolation. So you don't want to be around nobody. You don't want to do the things that you used to have fun doing. But when you see yourself, notice yourself doing that, you kind of force yourself into those social places and force yourself to do the things that's uncomfortable. Like even if it was something that used to cause you joy and now it's something you don't necessarily feel like doing, do it anyway. Just to be around those people. Somebody might say something to lift your spirits. Something might happen to where unbeknownst to you, you know what I mean? Like it brightens your day, but you didn't give yourself a chance any other day because you was leaning into that depression and just staying isolated.
Damn.
I can give a little bit more context to that. So I think of, you know, trying to come out of any place two-pronged. First one is awareness, and the second one is intervention. Like you gotta be aware that my moods are changing. You would be surprised how many people don't realize they in something until they so far in it. It's hard to get out of it. Right. You gotta start realizing some signs and symptoms when you at a 2 or 3. And because 10, 11 is kind of scary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fast.
So that awareness piece is huge. And then intervention. I can't tell you how many times a person will tell you, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's happening, and this is what I'm noticing.
And somebody ignores them.
And they won't do nothing different. Yeah. They would, in order to get a different outcome, you have to do some things differently. Mm-hmm. But, venting is definitely half of the battle, but you have to start putting some action towards that. I got a lot of different things that's like easy to understand that in my toolkit. One of which is a personal self-care plan. I try to have. Let's
go through. Okay. How does a personal health, self-health care plan? That, if I said it correctly, how does that look? Like, how does that look? Because
So this is what I noticed about adults. Most adults get in a groove of activities that cater to everybody that's important to them, except for them. You don't. And I tell most 30, 35-year-olds, I say, so what type stuff do you like to do? They like, bro, I haven't thought about that in years, right? So that's not good. Like, you need to know. Ask a 16-year-old what they like to do. They got 20 things because that's what their life consists of.
Yeah, facts.
I want to do what I want to do all day long. That's my thing.
Facts.
But when you get to, an adult, you don't prioritize those things. So for me, I tell people, think of some stuff you can do daily, every day. Brush your teeth, line yourself up, whatever it is that make you feel like you. Something you need that you can do weekly and something that you can do monthly. At the end of the month, you got some stuff that you did every week. You got some stuff that you did every day. And it was some stuff that you just got to once or twice that month. But you can say at the end of that month, I prioritize me. Like, I did what I had to do to maintain me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Let me ask, and this is another question I want to ask, because this is a great conversation. Do you feel like adulthood, right, for black men or black people in general, right? Do you feel like adulthood, we just start chasing like money and chasing all of this other stuff, and we forget our inner childhood anyway, the things that brought us joy? Definitely. Like, do you feel like that? And why? Like, why do you feel like it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like it's too, like he said, kind of two-pronged. I think, first of all, when we start having kids, they become the priority. So we forget about us and not prioritizing ourselves. And two, with the social platforms, we get to see how everybody else is living. And two, it's not even a accurate view of how everybody else is living.
It's a perception. It's an illusion, rather. Like, it's an illusion, rather.
It's the highlights.
Yeah, facts.
Like, every single picture you smile and you with a celebrity, you in front of a nice car. That's not life every single day.
But imagine, but I was talking to somebody the other day. Imagine if on social media, motherfuckers just posted like every single thing, even when they was fucked up. Like, damn, today my account, I got 69 cents in this motherfucker. Yeah. Like, how, like people would be like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Social media is used for you to create the life that you want people to think that you live and that you want to live.
And it's perfect. It's nothing wrong with that.
But when you start thinking that this is real, I think that's when people start like going through anxiety and depression and shit. Because it's like,
keep it in perspective and understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you looking at a fiction movie, it says fiction before, so you're not saying, oh, that's not gonna happen in real life. You know it's fiction. It's some sci-fi shit. It's not gonna happen.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But you know what you're looking at.
Facts.
But when you get on social media, you thinking all this is like this, how this person live every day. Just know that this is fiction. This is sci-fi. You know what you're looking at. Then you know what to expect.
That's hard.
Try to be like overly psychoanalytical, but
be overly.
It's a study that was done in like the 60s or 70s where it was like regular people. They were students at a college, and they put these students in a prison and assigned them to roles. Some of them was prison guards and some of them was inmates. And I think it was 2 weeks in, they was beating each other up. Forgot that they was students. They was had gotten ingratiated in that role and got lost in that role. Damn. Right? So it's like something that's kind of like,
I ain't trying to laugh, but like,
right? It's crazy to think about, but it's like something that is more powerful than I think we give it credit for. When you seeing something all day and scrolling and you know what I'm saying? You almost getting mesmerized by what you're seeing. It becomes your reality.
Bro, Well, do y'all hear what we're talking about right now? This is so crazy that like scrolling really be fucking people up.
Yeah.
And even me, it has done that before. Bro, I can be in a great mood, bro. I get on Instagram and just start scrolling and be like, I hate my job.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my life sucks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I live a great ass fucking life, you know what I mean? But like, that is crazy, bro, that happens.
Yeah, but what's even crazier is a lot of this stuff is done by design, I think, because they got algorithms, and you know, every time I'm talking and having a conversation with somebody, I scroll on my phone,
and you see what you talking about.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if they using us as puppets or some type of experiment or what around us.
Yeah, it's true. They have like little lawsuits. Every time I turn on the radio, they say if you have depression or anxiety, and that's like the owners of Facebook and Instagram know that some of the stuff that they put out there causes that.
Charlemagne was talking to a guy on his page about this same shit, because they said that social media was designed to play on our emotions.
Oh yeah,
you get what I'm saying? It was designed. You know how fucked up you gotta be to make something like that? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna create this app that's gonna make everybody mad. Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how
mind game,
bro. This is like, it's crazy, and this is the world that we live in, though. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. If you could tell your younger self, both of you guys, if you could tell your younger selves anything, what would it be and why?
Yeah, go on and start. Nah, I'm gonna start because you're gonna go longer.
Brothers fighting on Vibin with Veto.
I would just reassure myself. That it's gonna work out the way I want it to work out, and just to keep doing what I'm doing. I probably would. There's a lot of times that I kind of wasted time because I didn't know if what I was doing was the right thing, so I was kind of hesitant. So if I had to tell myself, my younger self, something, I would just say, full speed ahead, you on the right track.
Man, you took a lot of mine. Younger self, one thing that was similar to what he said, but a little bit different, is I find myself waiting until I have all the answers. Like, I realized that you will never have all the answers before you do something. Mm-hmm. You just gotta take a step out like there on faith. Yeah, like jump. Yeah, just jump. Because you probably know more than what you think, and what you don't know, you will figure out. And don't limit yourself to other people's perception of success.
That's amazing, bro.
Because I've had times in my life where I just felt like I deserved more, and it was people around me like, bro, you good, like, you know, you successful, bro, you cool, like, you know, be like, chill, relax. Like, nah, bro, I can't chill and relax. Like, I got so much more inside of me, I feel like, right? But it's been times, like I said, about, you know, other people's perception becoming your reality. Mm-hmm. You just start coasting. You know what I'm saying? And you just, you know, go to work and come home, and don't try to do nothing new. Your new ideas kind of sit there and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, the younger self is, don't let other people limit you based on their perception of success.
Absolutely. Now I'm a kind of piggyback off of what you said. Now you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you were just talking, but you were saying basically like you always wanted more. You felt like you could be doing more. Now here's my question to you: do you feel like us human beings, right? Mm-hmm. We're programmed to think that, oh, bro, I got to keep on going, and I need to be doing this to the point where we don't even like appreciate where we are in our current state.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is the definition of anxiety, honestly, where you always looking for the next step. You get almost like over anticipatory about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess. But here's the other thing.
Is that a bad thing though? Is like
you
that's
anticipate. You want to answer that?
Yeah, to it being a bad thing, I think it's more not good or bad, but just natural human nature. Like a lot of things is it's a good thing, basically. You know what I mean? Like have that anxiety, to have that drive, to have that motivation to do more. But in that state, we have a intervention called mindfulness. So it's like just taking a intentional approach at being right here where you are and not thinking about the next thing, not thinking about where you came from, not thinking about where you going tomorrow or what you got to do when you leave here. Just be right here where your feet are.
How do you do that though? It's so hard to do.
It's hard to do, but all you got to do is make a conscious effort to take time out, meditate, and say, I'm going to be right here, right now. I'm going to stay right here for 15 minutes. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to say nothing. I'm not going to talk to nobody. I'm just going to be right here, right now.
I got an activity for that.
Let's go.
So it's based around your 5 senses: sight, smell, touch, taste, and sound. Yeah. So if you sit in a place, maybe you eating something, maybe you drinking something, maybe you not. But you can, when you hone in and you focus on certain senses at one time, you can kind of almost give more appreciation to what's happening in the here and now. Like my college professor would give us like peppermint or something. And when what you don't realize most of the time when you have a peppermint in your mouth is that you could taste it, but you can smell it more than you could taste it. If you never stop to think about that, it's like, damn, I can smell this more than I can taste it. I can almost feel it on my skin. But if you don't, it's like something, if you don't consciously kind of put some effort towards, you take it for granted, right? So to be where your feet are, you focus on your 5 senses and what you experience in the here and now, and that'll take you out of the past and the future.
Facts. Can I tell y'all like something that I enjoyed this week? It's the simplest thing, right? So me and my girl, we went to the outlet, right? And that was cool. We bought some stuff. That was cool. But we went to Chick-fil-A, bro. I got me a fucking chocolate chip cookie, bro. And when I tell you it was hot, and it was
stuck
just
to the pack a little bit.
It was stuck to the pack, and bro, I was eating that shit, and I was like, bro, I'm really happy right now.
Yeah.
And then that shit was so simple, bro. Like
That's
that was
mindful.
like the highlight, and I'm talking to y'all, and I'm remembering that shit was fire.
Yeah.
Like, so being where you are, like that is very important.
Yeah.
Because nigga, I was doing so much stuff that whole day. We just drove all the way up there to get to the up 400 is like an hour anyway.
Oh yeah.
Coming from right here, it's
you
like an
gotta
hour.
be committed.
You get what I'm saying? So it was traffic, whatever. Boom, we went shopping. That wasn't even a 5 part. The 5 part was the cookie.
Man.
Before we got back on the road to come back home.
You got a Grammy that day and everything.
You know what I'm saying? And that, but nah. So to piggyback off of what you're saying, being where you are is truly important.
Yeah.
I had a moment like that. I go to this pretty nice gym off Windy Hill, right? So I'm working out, and I was sitting in the sauna, and it's just super nice little ambiance, and I'm like, man, I'm kicking it in here, bro. Like this is pretty cool, man. You know what I mean? So it's like those little moments like that. You got to remind yourself, like, I'm here right now, and this ain't so bad.
Facts. What are y'all most grateful for? Like in life? You know what I'm saying? And like, why?
Man. I feel
I might roll this one out. This might be the last question, bro. Because this. So I'm gonna ask both of y'all. What are y'all most grateful for, and why?
I feel like in my current life today, I'm most grateful for the ability to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Freedom. I get up when I want to get up. I take the appointments that I want to take. And I go to bed when I want to go to bed, and that's not always been the case. There's been times where I had an alarm clock and had to get up at 7 o'clock and had to be at a place by 9 that I didn't want to be. So to be where I want to be, doing what I want to do, is probably what I'm most grateful for.
Dope.
Man, that is a good question. What am I most thankful for? I think I am most thankful for the connections and relationships that I have been able to make and maintain over the years. I can't tell you how many times somebody be like, y'all niggas twins? Oh, y'all niggas still hang out. That's crazy. So, I mean, I look at it as a compliment that, I've been able to maintain my inborn best friend. And a lot of people, I know some twins that don't fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
I know brothers and sisters that don't fuck with each other. I know, people who was friends back in the day that ain't friends now. And, out of all of the stuff that I've learned over the years, my grandmama always told me sometimes it ain't what you know, but who you know. And I've gotten just as much out of who I know. So what I guess I'm most thankful for is who I know and who I've been able to kind of hold on to over the years.
Facts. That's hard. Yeah, we ain't gonna do no another question. That was hard. That was beautiful, man. Hey, tell the people where they can find y'all, man. Thank y'all for coming to Vibe with Veto. Real shit, bro. I rock with y'all, bro. Real talk, man. Tell the people where they can find you.
And I saw your slogan, purpose over popularity.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I gotta ask y'all that shit. Hey. We ain't about to. All right. When I say that slogan, purpose over popularity, how can you guys put that in your own words?
Man,
that's powerful. And I saw that you was an artist turned journalist, right? So what I'm trying to do is kind of what you have done, and that kind of spoke to me because this shit was not popular when I first started doing this. In 2001, people was like, "You doing what, bruh? Mental health, fool?" Like, cause I was playing football and everything, so it was like I was probably bigger and everything, just looked like a football player. Like, what are y'all doing, bro? Like, what, you ain't gonna make no money doing that. It was not now it's starting to gain some steam. But now when I remember when I first got to Atlanta, I met this girl that was a lawyer. She was actually a paralegal. And now she a lawyer.
For sure.
But she was like, yeah, when you gonna get a real job? I'm like, I feel like I got a real job. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I was about to go back for my master's, but I had a purpose. You know what I'm saying? It was a purpose. It was something I felt like was, like he said earlier, a part of my natural personality. So it was more like, it wasn't like a fad or something like everybody was doing pharmaceutical sales when I first got to Atlanta. It wasn't, I didn't have no draw to that. So I could have been on a popularity wave and tried to do that. But most of my life been purpose over popularity. On some real shit. But what I was about to say about the trying to turn into journalist thing is what I've been trying to do is use the platforms I've been able to get to break down the stigma and normalize real conversations and not like superficial dumb shit like we always talk about.
Clickbait.
Yeah. So it's been like a journey of trying to navigate social media and, you know what I'm saying, be entertaining, but also be myself, naturally laid back and pretty damn intelligent, but still just a regular person that I could talk to, that somebody could talk to. So yeah, definitely, it's my whole life been purpose over popularity, and I'm trying to do kind of what you're doing right now, transition into like some media stuff.
One thing I'm gonna say, you're not trying to do anything, you're doing it.
Hey,
you gotta replace that word. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that we say out of our mouths can like kind of curse the whole effect. The process. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You're not trying to do it. You're already doing it.
Facts.
You're using your voice to help people. Number one, that's big, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like and I still make music. Thank you. I still make music. I love music. I never stopped doing it. But I feel like one thing that I always wanted to do, and I always knew that, like, I walk in the room and, like you said, people would just start pouring into me. They'll just tell me every fucking thing, and it's like, not saying that, like, bro, I wouldn't tell their stories and stuff back or their secrets back, but it's just like, why do you feel so comfortable talking to me? You know what I'm saying? What makes me so special what makes you so comfortable to talk to me? So once I started doing that, and then it's just like, I like having conversations. I like meeting everybody. I'm a friendly person. Like talking to people, knowing, like, you know what I'm saying, what's your journey? Like, you know what I'm saying? How did you get here? How did you become the best version of yourself? And once I got over the whole thing of, bro, these folks, they gonna be looking at me crazy because I was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Once I got over that whole thing, and I was just like, fuck it. Now it's just like, I just love this shit so much, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like it's so similar too. You know what I mean? Like rapping and then having conversations, you still have to be articulate. You still have to organize your thoughts and get it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of the same skill set. I was thinking about purpose over popularity, and it kind of speaks to me like clickbait. Like, I think that we went through a situation like what he was saying, transitioning from just doing therapy one-on-one to kind of doing a little bit more media stuff and in front of the camera stuff. Everybody was like, oh, y'all gotta be a certain way, like y'all gotta jump up and like be ratchet, basically, cause some controversy, start a fight, like you know what I mean, do something super funny, like
right.
I feel like it's enough people who actually need help, that you don't have to be trying to entertain people at all time. It could be entertaining too, but that's not the number one goal. You know what I mean? To entertain you or to have some type of gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. Nah, that's dope. Yeah. But again, man, thank y'all for coming. Real shit. This conversation was dope as hell. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Hopefully we can connect and try to change the world together in some type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
For sure. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, sir. You can find me on Instagram. We actually got on Instagram. My Instagram is Tep Life, Tep TEP_life with a Y. We actually got a mental health awareness event next week.
What day?
Well, actually, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow, 12/18. Oh. Today is the 17th, right? Yeah, tomorrow's the 18th at Spice House. It's going to be from 6 to 8.
Okay, for sure.
And we're going to be tackling seasonal depression.
I'm going to try to make it.
Okay, I hope you can, brother. I hope you can. I'm going to put your name on my personal guest
list.
Please do. Just in case you can.
Please do.
But it's going to be, I think it's going to be dynamic because we want to hear from the people who actually experience some things so that other people can feel comfortable sharing their story. I mean, my voice is cool, but I want to hear from everybody else. So that's amazing. Try to make it interactive if we can.
Amazing, bro.
Definitely. You can find me at Talk to Tep on Instagram.
I follow both of y'all just now too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's dope. Hey man, thank y'all again for vibing with Veto. This has been another amazing episode, vibing with Veto. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And you already know the slogan: we vibrating higher and we chasing purpose over popularity. Let's get it.
Let's go.